Okay, so let me tell you a story. Okay, here's the story. We get a hurricane, gets really close to us. We're getting a lot of hurricane effect coming off of the storm. We have the winds are blowing in a circular motion, and they're pushing water towards the coast here. And what ended up happening, this is Hurricane Milton that I'm talking about, and Hurricane Helene both. They're not on top of us, they never hit us, but they were close. And what happened in both situations is they created a whole bunch of storm surge. Okay, so why am I telling you this story? Here's the story. Okay, I have my Jeep. It's a Jeep, it's got a V8 motor in it. I've been in love with Jeeps ever since my first wife, her dad was into them, and we drove around with the top off, and it had a V8 in it, and it was really incredible, and it was fun, and so on and so forth. I've been in love with them ever since. So we're kind of a family of Jeeps. We all have other cars too, but I'm just saying we have Jeeps in our family. So here's my Jeep story. So I'm back and forth. I had a custom Jeep that I bought that was, the Jeep was owned by one of the baseball players here, the pitchers, and he had it custom made, and I bought it. I just showed up the day after he turned it in at a dealership, and it was really cool Jeep. Now, I've never seen one like it, and although they do make them similar to this, but they're not exactly the same, and it ended up getting flooded out with Hurricane Ian, and that's another funny story. 2 months before that, Angie and I were out of the country, and Logan sends us a picture, and it's that Jeep on its side. So some guy T-boned him and knocked the Jeep over and flipped it over. So we ended up buying it back from the insurance company, and I'll put a picture of that Jeep in here. We bought it back from the insurance company, and it was messed up a little bit. So, but we wanted to have a vehicle here for on the beach, just to drive around with the top on it and stuff like that, kind of like a beach buggy, right? So we fixed the wheels. I fixed something wrong with the axle. I took all the doors and everything off of it. They weren't fitting right anymore because of it being turned over. Didn't bother to fix the top or any of that. Just stripped it down and just put, no doors, no roof, no nothing. It was really cool. Well, it was here. We didn't really believe that Hurricane Ian was going to do what Hurricane Ian was going to do, just like a lot of people who died here on the beach. So what happened is we left it here. Okay, we took my sports car, and we took her car and my car, and we left the island. And we just really didn't think that it would hit. And if it did, we certainly didn't think it was going to get over the top of that Jeep. It really sat up high. Well, it did. It ruined it. So that Jeep, in the course of about 4 months, got totaled twice. It got totaled. We bought it back, was still insured, and it got totaled again through Hurricane Ian. So, Barry, with that story, I'm out on Sanibel. I'm stuck in 2 hours of traffic getting off of the island, and I really want another Jeep. So I started scrolling through, and I found a V8 Jeep, and I was I've been going back and forth looking at a whole bunch of these V8 Jeeps, and I found one, and then the guy just happened to contact me while I was in that line. So I went back and forth with him, and I went ahead and bought it. And I never drove it or anything. They shipped it down here. I think it was from Oregon or something. No, not Oregon. Maybe Michigan. I don't remember where they shipped it from. So anyway, I bought it. Fun vehicle. Scary. Scary because when you have 500 horsepower, close to 500 horsepower, and you're on big wide tires, big fat tires, mud tires, versus like in a Corvette or something like that, there's a lot of this, and it's a little scary. So it's scary but fun. Now, I'm used to it now. We're in these storms. I'm running it around here, and my logic is, look, if I owned that Jeep and I was in, let's say, Montana, okay? If I owned that Jeep in Montana and it was snowing, well, they're going to have salt, and they're going to have sand all over the roads, right? Right? Good logic, right? So what's the difference between salt and sand on the road up north with cold weather and salt and sand down here, going through it in the water for a hurricane. So that was my logic. So here's what happened with the Jeep. The Jeep's only got 12,000 miles on it, right? And I've taken it. See, if you've watched in our videos, you've seen it in the videos quite a few times. Well, at any rate, I'm driving it. The other day, I have this infection. I'm going to the doctor. I'm running late. I had a hard time getting this appointment. And I get about halfway there, and the freaking thing goes, the red lights come on, and it's overheating. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Well, the day before, we had taken it, and I had come up inside of a lot that had a lot of sand on it down there on Bonita Beach. I came up on it really fast with 3 of us in the car, just for effect, and I don't know, maybe I scuffed one of the hoses. So at any rate, we blow out that hose on my way to the doctor's office. Red light goes off. I'm like, oh gosh. So I called Logan. I said, hey, I can't miss this doctor's appointment. Bring me a truck, and our shop's not far from there. So he sent somebody down. They brought me my truck, and then they waited with my Jeep while they picked it up. Well, at any rate, on my way, I was in a kind of a bad situation. So I moved the Jeep a little bit, let it cool down. And I don't know, if you grew up poor, man, sometimes you blew your car, you blew out hoses and stuff on your car, and you limped it somewhere to get it fixed. Well, I was trying to get it up off the road so I wouldn't create a traffic jam and get it up into the shopping center. Well, I get about halfway there, and I let it cool down, and it cooled down again, and then I started up, and I went again, and I just got inside the shopping center, and it stopped. It quit. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I stopped, and it wouldn't start. I tried starting it. I'm like, oh my God, did I lock this motor up? So, we have a lot of trucks and stuff. We have a lot of things that need to be towed. So I have a personal relationship with a towing company. Call them up. They were there within 15 minutes or 20 minutes and picked it up. Now I was already on my way to my appointment. Call the Jeep guy up. Say, hey, Jeep's coming on its way to you. Blah, 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 blah. He says, okay, no problem. I just want to let you know we're really backed up. Won't be able to look at it for 2 weeks. I'm like, oh man, come on. So at any rate, he calls me back a couple days later, says, hey, dude, I got bad news for you. And I'm like, what? He said, the motor's locked up on this Jeep. We think what happened is the water pump went out and threw a bearing and basically blew the head gasket. And we got these are aluminum motors, he says, and they can't take the heat that you might have remembered when you were a kid. And I'm like, oh, great. So I'm talking to him. He calls me back. I call him back about a week later and say, so what's going on with the Jeep? He says, you'll never believe this. He said, your starter locked up into the flywheel and wouldn't move. So the engine wouldn't turn over. So we thought it was blown. Well, we did some tests on it, some compression tests, and there's no problems. So we got the starter off of it. The engine spins freely. There's no problem with that. So you need a starter, you need a water pump, and you need a hose. I'm like, game on, man. Because you know what? Taking apart a vehicle like that, they're just never the same, okay? So at any rate, moral of the story is there's a possibility, because I was in the salt water, that happened. That messed up the water pump on the Jeep. Possibly. I don't know. It might have been when I went in that lot. It might have just went out on its own. But at any rate, that fancy Jeep ended up sitting at the dealership for about 3 weeks. Meanwhile, I have another car I bought. I wrecked it within 200 miles of being brand new. And we've been waiting for one part, for 4 months while it's sitting there, while I'm making payments on it. So today we're going to do something fun. Okay, that house on Hickory is the one that I did that. You'll see, if you see our videos, I went up into the yard with these guys. Thought maybe I scuffed something on the bottom of it as I came up because it was kind of a 3-foot incline. Really shouldn't hurt a Jeep, but he said there are hoses that are on that Jeep that particular way because there's such a big motor and they got to get everything around it that are put into situations where they could get snagged. So completely covered under warranty. Muy bueno, got it back. Love it. Can't believe it. I've had it only in my truck to drive for the last couple months. So some crazy stuff's going on for me. I'm new to all of this. This is a 1 year, a couple month thing for me. I'm becoming a little bit, I guess I'm becoming YouTube famous. I'm being recognized a lot. And honestly, I don't know what to say to people. I mean, I like it. I like the fact that I'm being recognized. I like the fact that people enjoy the content. I enjoy putting it out. I love it a lot. Actually, it's very interesting to me, and I'm fascinated by the whole process. But being recognized is, I don't want to say it's awkward. It's just I'm just not used to it. I don't know what to say to people, so I got to figure that one out. So we did this. We did this gigantic junk removal. I'm going to call it an extreme junk removal. We're going to have a new bucket on our channel. And what we did is we went into a warehouse and we ended up getting this. We thought it was 1 million books. And million's a lot. Million's a lot. So I told the guys, we took one of the boxes and we emptied it out and counted all the books. There were 620 books in it. So there are about 50 boxes of books. So 50 boxes times 620 is about 25,000 books. So what we did is I put them on Facebook Marketplace and on Craigslist. No, I didn't put it on Craigslist. I just put them on Facebook. 25,000 book giveaway. Basically, we got all these books from this junk removal. I don't want to throw them away. Come and get them for free. Well, that's been it's been good. I mean, it's been good promotion. I was at breakfast on Sunday down there. I'm watching Beach Talk Radio, which is a guy who covers the beach here for us and does a lot of community stuff and is covering all the stuff that's going on after these hurricanes. Good people. And I go down there whenever I can and I watch this. I go down and have breakfast. I'm not going to stay there all day, but I stay there for a while. I like to keep up with what's going on our beach. And he brought me up on the show and said, "Hey, tell them about their books." And I'm like, so I started telling him about the Jungle Rule book I'm writing. He says, "No, the books you're giving away." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so slow." So, but anyway, I did that. So that went really well. So the idea is just giving us more exposure, getting more people to know we're there. And I think this is very, very helpful. And hey, giving back to the community. I always want to do that. I love giving back to the community. So we're looking into, right now we've done a bunch of this. We really haven't monetized anything. I'm getting a little antsy about it. I really want to go ahead and pull the trigger. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. We're into making money. I know that ultimately this is all going to make a lot of money, but for right now, it's not really making anything. And I've got a 4-person staff at this point, and I think we're putting out some good stuff. Now we're still learning and growing every day, but I'm thinking very seriously about doing a paid subscription, like a backstory. So I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to work on that today. It's funny, Majestic, we talked to them guys about getting this book thing running, and they get it done by the end of December. And here we are. This is 3 days into December, and I'm really not hearing anything from them. So I'm going to reach out to them today. It's frustrating as all get out. That's why I'm getting people in-house. I actually hired and videotaped our course for our 3rd book and all of the information to write the book up. So I basically video wrote the book. I've given it to an author. She said 3 months. So that'll give us the next book. And then I have another one I want to do right away. And this one's on flooring removal, which is a very profitable business that you don't need a license for in most places and makes really good money. And when I went into it as part of our business model, I couldn't find any information on how to do it. So that's something I'm going to put out. I'm also going to start putting out some stuff on the Airbnb purchases and stuff and owner financing stuff that we've done that a lot of people don't know how to do. And so the status of the author website is it's unfinished. Going to work on that today too. That's through Majestic. So I have, so Kenny did this thing with the AI. He took one of our shorts and he threw the AI over the top of it. And he said, tell me something funny about how to do a demo. And then he said, no, now make it even funnier. And then make it even funnier. So he put this together. And he put it together with one of our shorts. It's a 60-second short, and it is freaking fantastic. I think it's awesome.
Welcome to Fort Myers Beach, where buildings once stood proud until we showed up. Today, we're taking demolition to the next level. Think action movie meets beach day, with a lot more dust and way fewer margaritas. Watch as walls collapse, roofs surrender, and entire buildings tap out faster than your cousin at a family arm wrestling contest.
We put it up. One of the first comment I got was, please don't do AI voiceovers. And I think they're thinking that I'm going to let them do the voiceovers all the time. I'm not. That's not even on the radar. So, pretty freaking funny. I like it. It's on the site. Man, this AI stuff is absolutely unbelievable. Now, let me tell you about the AI too. So we have a new girl working for us, and she's going to be editing this video, so she's going to see this. And this weekend, what I explained to her what I needed her to do before she left for the weekend was I needed to have a certain amount of these shorts put up all the way through the time that she was going to be gone. And I don't know if there was some miscommunication or she doesn't fully understand how serious we are about what we're doing or whatever, but basically that didn't happen. And some of these videos were put off with just the AI generated titles and AI generated descriptions that came from Opus Clips. And what Opus Clips is it's a program where you can take a long-term video, you stick it inside of it, and the AI determines the beginning and the end of interesting thoughts in the video, and then it brings it up, and it brings up also the text of the audio, and he puts it up there, and it projects a title. Now, 99% of the time, that stuff doesn't work, okay? Now, the cutting up of the video is most of the time, 90% of the time, is dead on. It's a good cut, okay? Now, the title and the description is never right, okay? So some of these got fired off with the AI titles. Well, we're a demolition business. Well, one of the titles was talking about renovation. Well, we don't renovate stuff, okay? So, we have had a meeting of the minds on that. Hopefully, she's got this figured out because I'm not playing around. I built the trust with everybody. I don't want to burn the trust. I don't want to send you into spammy stuff. I don't want to give you a title just to get you to open something up and not deliver on the title. I'm just not going to do that. That's just not what we're going to do. So anyway, that's it for today's vlog. Basically just talking about a bunch of different things that we're working on. She also kind of poked me a little bit and said, hey, you really should have some sort of an outline for what you're doing on your vlog so you're not all over the place. So I did that. We're also going to put start putting some B-roll into these vlogs to make them a little more interesting. And so that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to put the picture of the Jeep here. I'm going to send it over to Kenny when he does this vlog. And I think this is 141. Kind of got lost here this last week with me being in the hospital. So that's it. By the way, this is all healing up really good now, finally. So the hand itself actually looks fairly healed. These antibiotics are tough, man. They're kicking my butt. So, but anyway, Hey, besides that, I mean, the nurse comes in, she does my blood pressure and that. She says, you got the perfect blood pressure. I'm like, great, because I've been working my butt off for the last 2 years through this Fountain Life, helping me analyze my health and implementing what they've taught me. And I've lost a bunch of weight, and I've shed the arthritis. I feel it a little bit, but it's not much at all. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, the plaque buildup in my veins, all that stuff. Everything's muy bueno. So good stuff. So see you on the next vlog.